Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to see about Deque Interface, and I am Kalipriya, working as an assistant professor RMK College of Engineering and Technology. When we talk about the Deque interface, what is Deque? The name itself say it is an doubly ended queue. Queue always follows first in first out operation. But in Deque, we merge the both concept like your stack as well as the queue. So stack follows last in first out and queue follows first in first out. So in Deque, the acronym also say it's a doubly ended queue. The insertion and deletion can be done at both the ends. For example, it supports the addition as well the removal of elements from both end of the data structures. It is just a subtype of a interface queue, and it is available in a package called java.util. Java.util. It is a package which contains the Deque interfaces. So in as a concise, we talk about Deque is a doubly ended queue. It supports stack as well as the queue data structure. So elements can be added at the beginning or at the end of a data structure. So these are all the methods which is available in the Deque interface. So let we go one by one in detail. Add. Add is when you wanted to add an element to the queue, you can use add method. Okay, it is represented with an object. And we wanted to add a collections of elements which is present in the collections, we can go for a add all. And I wanted to add the element in the first of the Deque, front side of the Deque, I can go with add first. I wanted to add the elements at the end of the Deque, I can go for a add last. And I wanted to search an element whether that particular data structure or the Deque contains an element. So I can go for a contains method. It returns a boolean value. Whether the element is present, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false. So iterator is a method which helps you to do it in a forward direction. Okay, and I wanted to do the iteration in the reverse direction. So I can go for a descending iterator. Fine. Then I wanted to retrieve the head of the queue represented by the Deque. I can go for a method called an element which retrieves the head element. And I wanted to retrieve the first element, I can go for a get first. Get is a method which helps you to access or retrieve the element. If I wanted to retrieve the element from the last, I can go with get last. It will fetch you the last element in the Deque. Then iterator, I wanted to traverse over the elements which is present in the collection classes. Generally we prefer to use a method called iterator. Then I wanted to add an element, so I can go with offer. There are two methods you can able to add an element for the Deque interface. One is add, the other one is offer. Both or helps you to add an element, but the difference between these two are add. If you adding an element, if the Deque is full, it will not throw an exception, it will hang up, it will end up in messy of the program. So if you use a method called offer which helps you to handle the exceptions, if the queue is full and you added an element, it will throw a notifications that the queue is full, you cannot able to add an element. So it handles an exception where add method does not handle the exceptions. So the same way like offer first, offer last. And I wanted to retrieve the elements of the head I wanted to retrieve the head elements, I can go with the method called peek. It receives but not move the head of the queue represented by the DQ, or it may return null if the DQ is empty. So if I wanted to fetch the head element, retrieve the element, I can go with a method called a peek. So the same way, retrieves but not move the first element of the queue, and retrieves the element and does not move the element at the last of the DQ. Peek. Peek first. I just wanted to retrieve, only retrieval. Okay, so it will not remove, it will retrieve the elements. I wanted to retrieve and also wanted to remove the element, I can go for a pole. So the difference between peek and pole is pole removes the element where peek retrieves the element. That's all. The same way you have first and the last. And I wanted to remove an element from the stack, I can go for a pop. And I wanted to push that element into the stack, I can go for a push. And I wanted to retrieve and remove the element which is present in the queue, I can go for a remove method. So I can have a method called remove last occurrence, and it removes the last occurrence of the element from the DQ. So you all been associated with a predefined method. So only thing is we have to understand which method has to be used in certain conditions. Similarly, I wanted to remove the last element, I can go with the remove last. And similarly, I wanted to remove the last occurrence of an object of the DQ, I can go with remove last occurrence. I wanted to present the size or the elements which is present in a DQ, I can go with the size. So these are all the methods being associated with a DQ. Now whenever the DQ is an interface, it is not possible without implementing the interface to create an object. So we go for a class called array DQ. So array DQ is a class which implements the DQ interface. So same way, what are all the criteria has been followed for the DQ, the same follows here. And it is not possible to create an interface object for an interface. So we implement an array DQ class for implementing the DQ interfaces. And like queue, you can add or remove at the both ends, because I already told you the DQ always supports the stack as well as the queue. So you can able to add or remove element from the both ends. And null elements are not allowed in the DQ. Null elements are not allowed in the DQ, and it is not thread safe. Okay, you cannot able to use it in the thread synchronization concept. Array DQ has no capacity restrictions. So you can have n number of elements you can able to add or remove it in the you don't have the size capacity. You don't want to follow a rigid size capacities. Either you can able to add the element predominantly without mentioning the size, it will add accordingly. So array DQ is faster than the linked list as well the stack. So let me see an example of an array DQ here. You will have I already told you it should be present in the util package, and we have a class called array DQ, and you have a method, main method. Under the main method, what we have done, we have created a object for the array DQ. Array DQ is a class and it is of string, so it contains only the string values. You are creating an object for the array DQ, but the interface is what? DQ. This particular object acts as an object for a array DQ, and it is a reference variable for the DQ. Because DQ is an interface, you cannot able to create an object for the interface. So what is the method I can able to use? Add. Either I can use add or offer. So here in this example I used add. So dq.add, it will add an element called Ravi, Vijay, Ajay. Three elements is being of string type is being added. So I wanted to traverse through the elements. I'll be going for an enhanced for loop. I declare a variable called string which pass in the deque array deque object. So this array deque contains all the three elements I'm traversing, and one by one I'm printing. So the output will be in this way: Ravi, Vijay and Ajay. It always follows the insertion order, not in a ascending order. So that's the output came in the same way as the values been inserted. So now we see an example of uh, offer first and poll last. Offer means offer first is we I can able to add the elements in the beginning, in the front. Poll last I can able to uh, remove the element which is at the last position. So how I can go for it? The same way I created an object and I added elements like Arvind, Vimal, Mukul, and Jay. There are four elements of string type is been added to the DQ. After this, I have one output statement. I'm printing the statement. So I'll have after offer first traversal. So what I did for these things, I have added, but offer first is the method which helps you to add the J in the first. So once you print the result, you will get J in the first position. After that, Arvind, Vimal, Mukil, because offer first which helps you to add the element in the first position. So the same way I wanted to I use a method called poll last. So poll last means what? It will remove the elements which is present in the last position. So what is the element present in the last position? Mukil. So Mukil will be deleted and it will be printed. So you will have Ajay, Arvind and Vimal. So this is just an example of two methods. You have number of methods being associated with it. So in this video we discussed about what is an um, DQ interface and which is the class which is being implemented with the DQ interface. The class is what? Array DQ. And we have seen the number of methods which has been associated with the classes. Thank you.